Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 060, Topics in Developmental Mathematics, Section 2.10, Problem 24. This is Section 2.10, Problem 24. It has 3, and then in parentheses, 1/2 minus 1/3. So any type of math problem that has parentheses, the parentheses need to be done first. So let me deal with the 1/2 minus 1/3 first. And the other thing I'll point out is when there's no operation clearly indicated, like the 3 next to the parentheses, what's implied is multiplication. So even though they don't write 3 times the parentheses, that's really what they mean. So let me start by doing this. 3 times, and then in parentheses, I need to make a common denominator in order to subtract 1/2 minus 1/3. So if I have denominators of 2 and 3, 6 would be a very good choice. So the 1/2 I can write as 3/6. That's an equivalent fraction. 3/6 will reduce back down to 1/2. And again, what I did is I was looking at the denominator of 2 and I said I want to make it a 6. 2 times what becomes a 6? 2 times 3. So I have to multiply the numerator times the same value. 1 times that same 3 made a 3. And it is equivalent to 1/2. Now the 1/3 can become 2/6. Same process. The 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3, but it's written so that I have a common denominator. And what I did, I was thinking if I want a denominator of 6, what I need to do is take the denominator I'm given, the 3, multiply it times something, well, times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I have to multiply the numerator times the same value. So if I multiply times 2, 1 times 2 is 2. 2/6 is the same as 1/3. Now I can complete my work in the parentheses. So I have a 3 out in front times 3/6 minus 2/6. So combine the numerators. 3 minus 2 is 1. And the common denominator stays. So I have 3 times 1/6. Now, when you multiply fractions, you want to multiply top times top, bottom times bottom, or numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And the 3 is just 3. It doesn't really have a numerator and a denominator. So to make the problem work out, let me write it as 3/1 times 1/6. You can turn any whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 under it. So now I can multiply top times top. 3 times 1 is 3. And bottom times bottom, or denominator times denominator. 1 times 6 is 6. So that gives me 3/6, which reduces to 1/2. And again, notice, if I had wanted to, I could have reduced first and multiplied what's left. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice, and now on top, 1 times 1 is 1, and in the denominators, 1 times 2 is 2. So I still get the same 1/2. You can multiply first, then reduce what you get, or reduce first and multiply what's left. So the final answer, either way, is 1/2.